You could use a blessing. Let's get to it. Could you use a blessing? All right. 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 15. See that none of you repays another with evil for evil, but always aim to show kindness and seek to do good to one another and to everybody. 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 15. This scripture in 1 Thessalonians tells us to always show kindness. Living in this generous kind of way is pleasing to God. There are many other scriptures that also tell us to be good to everybody, not just those we consider to be like-minded with or who are in our community, in our group, or in our church, but to everybody. There's so many times in my life where I've seen people, they've started gossiping about another person, or I've seen a female talk about another female in a very negative way and lie on their name or say something to put them down, and then they will giggle and laugh about it, and then they get a whole group together, and it's like, it's so toxic, it's so disrespectful, and it's so hurtful. But what happens when you yawn? When you yawn, the person next to you, they begin to yawn, right? Okay, and what happens when you speak negatively about somebody? That's going to immediately, whatever information you're using that you're speaking out on your tongue, that's making another person look at that person in a different way, changing their perception of that person. It's so powerful, and it causes a domino effect of really toxic, bad, negative behavior. And does that person deserve that? Do they deserve that? But what about when you're laughing? What happens? Somebody else begins to laugh, right? And it's a domino effect. But what happens when you smile? Somebody else begins to smile. And maybe when you see someone down, you start smiling, just because you want to bring them up as you're explaining to them that whatever situation they're going through is going to be okay. You start smiling because you want to bring them up and you want to make them feel good. What ends up happening? They end up feeling good. They end up coming out of their slump and their depression and their sadness and their confusion of whatever situation you may be helping them with. It's so powerful how you, as an individual, can change the entire trajectory of your situation just by showing kindness, showing love, showing gratitude for the laws of the Lord, and working through them and doing them and implementing them in your life every single day. Even if someone is your employee and they serve you, you should think of ways that you can serve them also. When you get your morning coffee, bring one for somebody else. Pick up after yourself and don't make extra work for them. The people who help us in our lives should always be shown appreciation, always, always. Because like my last word that I just posted, most of the time we help a lot of people, and very rarely do people want to help us, which is okay. But when they do, we want to recognize that person. We want to appreciate that person. We want to let that person know how deeply we do appreciate them, right? So I remember one time when I was a young girl, right? I wrote a note of appreciation to a garbage man at my friend's house, my little girlfriend's house, me and her. We wrote an appreciation letter to the garbage man, and then we gave them a little gift card, and we said thank you to them. And in my house, we never did that, right? But when I went to my girlfriend's house, the mother bought a gift card and said, girls, go outside and give it to the garbage man and tell him thank you. How many times have mothers and fathers given gift cards to the bus drivers but forgot about the postman or forgot about the garbage man? And it's like, it's something that doesn't happen. So when you do it, it's like, you should have seen his face. He was like, oh my God, it was so cute. And we were little, so it was like, here you go. So it was really cute. I think these things not only bless people, but can often be shocking because they almost never happen. The world is filled with people who work hard, doing jobs that are not very pleasant, and yet nobody notices. Yesterday I was walking and I was listening and glorifying the Lord, and I was listening to music that praises God. And one of the songs was Waymaker, Miracle Worker, Promise Keeper, Light in the Darkness, my God, that is who you are. And I'm singing, and I'm in the sidewalk, and this man comes out and he's pushing 2 garbage pails with so much stuff inside. He's this small Mexican guy, And I took my headphones out. I put the music on through my phone and I continued to sing, and I put my arm around him. I had no idea who he was. And I'm like, Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. And I was like, over powers and positions, over dominions, over everybody. We were singing. And he had no idea who he was. And he was just like, and I don't even know if he spoke Spanish, but he was just so happy. And he was like, and he gave me a kiss on my hand. And I was like, and then I just kept walking. I didn't even say anything. I just started singing, gave me a kiss on my hand. I gave him a big hug, and I just kept walking. I had no idea who he was. But it was that love at that moment, because I saw how tired he was and how hard he was working. And it was like, I don't know, maybe a custodial for somewhere, for some building I was walking by. But man, I hope I uplifted his day, because at that moment, we were uplifting each other. And it was through the Lord, and it was powerful. It was nice. I once saw a woman cleaning the bathroom at a department store where I used to shop, okay? And I gave her some money and said, "You look like you worked hard, and I thought you maybe could use a blessing." And I smiled and I quickly left. A few minutes later, she found me in the department. It was in the shoe department at the time. And she expressed her gratitude and told me how this act of kindness lifted her up so much. She told me that she did indeed work hard and felt nobody paid much attention to her, and that she didn't make any money, and she was trying to save money for her family. And she said that that $100 bill was gonna do so much for her, and she thanked me so much. And I was like, of course, no problem. Because every dollar that I make, I need to give some of it back in order for the Lord our God to give me more. And you just have to give. You have to give. I've posted so many videos about that. You'll be amazed at how your joy will increase if you make a habit of noticing those who usually aren't noticed. God watches out for them, and He will be delighted to have you make yourself available as His partner in this endeavor. It's a powerful endeavor, and it's something that He wants all of us to do. Trust in Him. Partner with God to be a blessing to everyone you come in contact with, especially the people often overlooked. Trust the nudges He places in your heart to do good for others. Trust that your kindness is going to spread like wildfire, but also trust that your disrespect and your lies and your deceit and your gossip and anything that's negative that you do is going to also spread like wildfire. And know that whatever's done in the dark will always come to light. It will always come to light. And you don't want to be that person that's remembered down the road as someone that was negative, disrespectful, or hurtful to another. There's so many people in my life that didn't know me, and other people put a perception of me at times. And most of them got caught pretty quickly. But some of them, they were able to do it for a long time. And therefore, I missed out on great friendships, on great opportunities, and in business and in love, in so many situations in my life. But I know deep down in my heart, the Lord our God will reveal those people in one way or another. And eventually, those people would normally come back to me and say, T, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. This is what this person said, and I believe them. And after a while, I'm just like, okay, it's okay. And I hug you, and we're, whatever it is. But it's tough. It's tough. You just got to be really careful. And you always want to spread kindness. Kindness, 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 kindness. And do for others, even if it's not monetary, even if it's just complimenting them, even if it's just hugging them. That man on the street, I'll never forget that I was singing too. I was on like my fourth song, and I was like, when the music is so loud in your headphones and you're like, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. And it's like, I love that song. I love that song. Overall powers and dominions, powers, oh God, I don't know it right now, but when the music beat starts, I know the whole song. All right, guys, take care.